let's go straight in and talk about Go 10.3 Gen 2. Because there's one more thing that I noticed when I was doing some more drawings on it really. And I'll go to my notes on the, well, you can actually see it already in one of these. Can you see over here what has gone on there with that stroke? I don't know. I noticed this whilst I was drawing the churches in my sort of first video on it, but it's almost like it kind of runs out and it just sort of like, you can see I can still press harder and you can just see, can you just see that? It's, the stroke is not consistent in its pressure levels. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if it's with every single brush or if it's just with the brush tool. I think it might just be with that brush tool, to be honest. But certainly, see those little blobs on the end there, for example? Can you make that out on the live stream there? That's just some weird behavior that I've noticed with this pen, for instance. Now, if I do the same thing on, for example, the Note 5C, if I go to an EMR Boox and that doesn't happen with the brush like that, you can see I was checking this out earlier on. Same tool, both updated to the same firmware. Okay, it's wobbling there because of that magnetic thing. So of course, you know, there is that trade-off that the magnets do severely affect EMR. So I take it out of the case. You don't see any issues there. So if you were to draw on this or need your handwriting to look perfect, then you would obviously just go ahead and take it out of its case. But you see, same tool does not do that blobbing thing. You just get a much nicer end to your stroke, essentially. I really wrapped my brains out about it. I saw a lot of people were still talking about the difference. A lot of people were really liking the feel there. I also have heard, and I agree with, that this pen itself is just a little bit too stiff because it's this metallic, this like really firm metallic, no give at all in it. And actually after a while on this hardish glass screen, after a while of writing, this stylus isn't that great. And so many comments have been like, can I use a different stylus? And I think that's what people are just thinking, can I actually just opt to have a different USI stylus? And none of them work quite as well as the one that's sort of designed to go with it. This is the Big Me stylus, which is another one. It's doing that same thing, but not, oh yeah, and the blob at the end, not quite as much. I think perhaps that's where Boox need to go next, really, is sort of give you options. And you think about what Supernote do and things like that, they give you lots of different options of type of pens, because we're talking about it actually being very important how the screen feels, how writing on something feels, how it sort of appeals to your love of nice stationery, then having more than one option would be quite nice for them. So let me just go and show you the drawing that I made. I was kind of happy with it, kind of not so happy with it. I really worked hard to make something acceptable, but yeah, I just really noticed, and it kind of frustrated me towards the end, that the issue with that twisting and the lack of kind of pressure at the end of the pen. I don't know that I love this, but I kind of pulled it off a little bit in the end. Yeah, it took a lot of work. Let me show you the sort of layers of this. And I'd love to have the layer opacity, because there's a couple of layers that if I actually made them a bit more transparent in this drawing, then the whole thing would actually look a bit nicer, because some of them are just taking up too much kind of space, really. So if I go back to layers, the first layer that I drew was this one. Okay, so just sort of use some, and that's one of the ones that I would actually push down. I would actually sort of reduce the opacity of this layer. Then after that, I think I did some of the dark, no, I did the tone next, the mid-tones, and I sort of got a little bit lost at this point. And again, if I'd have just taken both these back down, and then the next layer I would have done would have been this black and white layer. And I then put the black and white layer underneath the others, and it didn't really come off at all. And actually, having seen that black and white layer on its own, I actually think, yeah, you can see the mouth and everything, it just wasn't really successful with this layer. And then lastly, I went for another dark set of lines. And then the last thing I did, and the thing that sort of rescued everything really, was to put highlights and the darkest lines on top. And actually I used a bit of a white pencil to sort of push back some areas, to sort of do a bit of the opacity, if you like, by just adding some textured white pencil on top. And so this is okay, isn't it? But again, you can just see some of these marks down here have not been what I really intended, because the pen just sort of didn't behave as I thought. So that's my sort of 2 cents on that. Is it the brush tool? I'm not sure, but it doesn't do the same with the EMR pen. And just the last thing I want to say about this for now And I will live with the Go 10.3 because it is, in lots of respects, a really banging tablet, of course. I will make a full sort of dedicated longer term review at some point, and I'll obviously revisit where to put it in my ranking. What do you guys think? Do you think it should stay in its current spot, which is 6th, just below the Note Air 5C, or do you think it actually goes down below even the V-Woods next, or Remarkable next below that? But yeah, the thing that's surprising me is for so long, like so many reviews of e-ink tablets have started. Oh, it's a Carter 1300 screen with a Wacom EMR stylus. And I feel like that was like a mark of kind of quality, really. And the tablets that could say that, say, well, initially it wasn't a Carter 1300, but or it's a 227 ppi screen, but with Wacom EMR, and it's got full Google Play. Those were the kind of statements at the top of reviews that people mentioned initially because they knew that was a mark of quality that you could really trust. It was the premium kind of call out. It was the statement that said that that's what you want. And I wonder, is it e-ink's fault? Is it e-ink that are actually not putting Wacom EMR in their stacks, and so companies are scrambling around to find other solutions and doing the best with what they can? I don't know. Well, if that was the case though, of course, then we wouldn't have the likes of iFlyTech still having Wacom EMR and things like that. So I don't think it's only that. And also, you wouldn't have had Wacom visiting BET, and if you saw my video about Wacom styluses, about these new design in Tokyo styluses they're bringing out, the entirety of the booth at Wacom was showing off Wacom paired with e-ink screens. And they were talking about using them for education. They were talking about these great Wacom EMR pens and how you can get something which you can work on just as naturally as paper. And so I don't think that e-ink themselves, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what I'm purely speculating here, but it doesn't seem to me that e-ink themselves are the ones moving away from Wacom EMR, especially given that kind of note there as well.